Okay, okay, okay. Can everybody see this and can they hear me? Just put your hand up if you can see me. Good. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I believe I'm recording this. So okay, so start off. So uh, my collection is basically banknote type items, philatelic related. So what I've been doing is over the last year or two, gathering items, and people, when they think of banknotes and philatelic, they think of a picture of a stamp with a banknote, but it's far more than that. Uh, so really is there's different types of themes. There's anniversaries of banknotes. So those are the issue of that particular banknote. There's anniversaries of banknote related items. They could be bonds or municipal paper of different points. There's anniversaries of banks. These are the national banks and other financial institutions. Anniversaries of banknote companies. These are the companies that actually produce the banknotes. There's commemoration of new currencies when the country introduces a new, maybe redefined currency or a new one for the country. There's the Maastricht Paper Money Fair, which is worldwide best known of paper money trading one in Netherlands. There's banknotes and postcards, should be obvious. There's history of banknotes, which are the historical things before you even had banknotes, different types of trading items. The souvenir sheets resembling banknotes. So these are souvenir sheets that are banknotes kind of looking, but they're not. And other and unusual items. So started off this anniversary of banknotes. Typically, they're 50, 20, 100, 150-year anniversary of the issue of the different banknote series. Usually, it's the first banknote series for the country. So, for instance, Island of Man in 2006, they issued the 50th anniversary of banknotes. Island Man was incorporated in 1865, so they had like 90 years without their own banknotes. They used British banknotes, and so 1956 they issued the first banknotes, and they issued a stamp commemorating that one. Nepal, 2017, the 66th anniversary of the first banknotes and currency. So, a couple items. Down here, you can see I've got actually, that's a banknote which I actually have, which is the same one or similar to one to the stamp in the middle. This is actually the first banknotes in Nepal's currency. They issued a banknote a year before that, but in the Indian currency, Modi, which was this is the rupee, so they didn't commemorate the Indian currency one for some reason, just this one. So next one, Israeli banknotes. So this is 70 years. This is a souvenir sheet with showing the different years, the different issues of currencies for the Israelites from 1948. Finland, this is a beautiful one. It's a booklet. It's got 7 different stamps on it showing different banknotes from the 100 years of issuing banknotes. This one in the bottom in particular, I've got this banknotes, which is the same one as shown in the arrow on the souvenir sheet. So this is actually a booklet that's opened up wide, and so you can see all of the stamps. This beautiful one. Ukraine, 2018, 100th anniversary. So, as you know, 1918, Ukraine separated from the Russia and formed its own country for a short time because the Soviets took them over 1921, I think it is. But and then they became their own country in 1992, I think it is. So um, kind of weren't a big country, so very strange. But this is anniversary for them. Uruguay, 1996, 100th anniversary of their currency from 1896, showing the two of the different currencies on that one. You'll see these ones a bit later. So Greenland. Now this is a weird one because it's the 106th anniversary of paper money from 1911 to 11 plus 106, 2017. They issued these ones. Very beautiful little souvenir sheets of their banknotes themselves. So Dominican Republic, 1998, 150th anniversary of 1948 paper money. It's kind of blowing up. This is quite hazy. It's not very well done, in my opinion. Trevor may agree with me there. Who knows? Greece, now look, 150th anniversary of their banknotes. These are just little slips of paper. It's really not very impressive what those banknotes were. Anyways, I've got a blog of 4 showing these ones. This is interesting. 225th anniversary banknotes. This is a souvenir envelope commemorating the paper money New York. This is sort of in this particular category. So, and the last one here, 1987, Portugal issued a stamp commemorating 300th anniversary of paper money. The interesting thing is that, see, 1687 paper money in Portugal. There's no picture of paper money, just a coin. So I don't. That's kind of weird why they did that one. Okay, next block is anniversary of banknote related items. So non-banknote types, special days, other financial instruments. So Guinea-Bissau 2012 had the 10th anniversary of the euro, and showing the picture of Duesenberg, who died 2005, who was instrumental in creating the euro. I've got a 10 euro banknote of myself, which is almost the same as the one on the souvenir sheet. So there. Yugoslavia, 1984, 40th anniversary. Now, this was before the Second World War ended. You notice the stamp actually is Slovenia, showing you the bonds. And yet, if you look in the bottom left, Serbia, which is a different part of Yugoslavia, so it kind of doesn't agree, but portraying the bonds. So the Indonesia, guess you didn't know that they had a banknote day. So this is the 50th anniversary of the banknote date, October the 30th. And I have a banknote which is the same as the one on the first day cover here. Dominican Republic, 1999, 100th anniversary of municipal notes. Now this is interesting. Is the fact that this is a souvenir sheet for these ones. 1899 was when the U.S. defeated Spain, and so the Spaniards were kicked out of Dominican Republic. So guess what? The Americans didn't help them, and they were suffering from financial problems, and so they came up with getting municipal bonds to be able to afford to get provide services for the people there. It was a rough time at that point for them. So, okay, anniversaries of banks. These are usually the anniversary of the national banks, but sometimes something else. So, start from the 0th anniversary. Germany created one for the first inauguration of the European Central Bank in Frankfurt, 1998, and that one. First anniversary, Bank of Biafra. So the 5 shilling note shows banknotes for the Bank of Biafra in this set of 5 stamps. Next is Tonga, 1983, 10th anniversary of the Bank of Tonga, showing the 1973 banknotes from Bank of Tonga. Not very good quality notes, my opinion. So, Cuba. Now, this is an interesting one too, because Cuba, 1975 25th anniversary, which means the National Bank of Cuba was created in 1950, which was before the Fidel Castro and the Trump came in here. So the bank was created in 1950. It was nationalized by the communists through Fidel Castro and kept on going. So they had this one and kept on going here. And then here is a 10 peso banknote, which I got from Cuba, which is one of the internal banknotes, which you're not supposed to take out of Cuba. So that's, but it was given to me when I was in Cuba. So not quite the same guy, but next one, Hungary, 1994, 25th anniversary of the State Savings Bank of Hungary. And so if that's 1949, in which they actually, so that was when they sort of settled after the war. I have a banknote which is the same as, at least as far as I can tell, same as the one on this particular stamp, 1 florin note. Kyrgyzstan, 2017, 25th anniversary. That was from 1992 when the country was formed. Here's the banknote and the souvenir sheet of banknotes and coins and so forth. So I think I don't have the banknote associated with that one. Nigeria, 1984, 25th anniversary, which means 1959. That they created, so showing you 2 of these stamps with those banknotes from that particular point. Mexico, okay, Louise might be interested. And here, 1960, 35th anniversary of the Bank of Mexico. Bank of Mexico was founded in 1925. Revolution is 1910 to 1960, so this is 50-year anniversary of the revolution, but 35th anniversary of the Bank of Mexico. So Indonesia, 2003, 50th anniversary of the Bank in Indonesia. And these ones are really strange stamps, I think, in the opinion. Flowers in this one, and then the bottom one, there's school professor and the student and learning. So I'm not sure what they were trying to do in terms of promoting the Bank of Indonesia, but maybe the commerce, who knows. Here, Mexico again. So 2000, remember 1960, you had a 35th anniversary. 2000, you got the 75th anniversary of the Bank of Mexico. So here's a nice souvenir sheet showing the 75th anniversary of the bank building. Mongolia, 2017. Here's the 90th anniversary of Bank of Mongolia from 1927, which is that was sort of when they sort of settled after the Russian Revolution. They sort of took a few years to settle in Mongolia, and then they created that with the Mongolia worked with Soviet Union at that point. It's kind of political why it's created. Anyways, I've got a banknote, which is the same as the one of the ones on there. One. Greece, 1967, 100th anniversary of the National Bank of Greece. Remember back then I showed some bank notes from 150 years. These are the National Bank of Greece from 100 years. So that's showing 100 years ago bank notes, which were better than those really poor qualities from 150 years ago. Iceland, 1986, 100th anniversary of the Bank Iceland, nothing comment, just one stamp there. Spain, 100th anniversary of the Bank of Spain. So showing 1,000 peso banknotes on a 2 euro stamp, and also showing a 25 cent on the 2 euro stamp. Switzerland, 2015, 100th anniversary of the federal administration of the currency, when I think they took over from the cantons. So showing that one. Luxembourg, 1981, 125th anniversary of the Bank of Luxembourg. So there's a stamp here, no banknote on there, just a little decoration, I think so. 100, or this was, I think, a banknote at one point. Romania, 130th anniversary. So they're showing a banknote from 130 years and another banknote from 100 years before that. So on this souvenir sheet. So Russia, 2015, 155th anniversary of Bank of Russia. So this was was it 1850, 1860. So during the Tsar's time, it went through the Soviets and then back to Putin's time. So went through a lot of things, and the Bank of Russia is still there. So next one is anniversaries of banknote companies. These are the institution of the one prints the banknotes. Canada, you have the um, was it British North American Banknote Company and so forth. So these sometimes private, sometimes government. So Suriname, 2000, Jan may know about this one. So this is Van Regen International. It's not quite a banknote printer, but it buys old banknotes from countries and sells them and makes money. So that's next, Hungary, 1975. 50th anniversary of the Hungarian Banknote Company. So showing you two of the banknotes from 50th, so 1925, which was when the first came, which is uh, just after Hungary was created. Poland, 100th anniversary of the Polish security printers work. This is a beautiful one because the souvenir sheet looks like a banknote. There's 100 isn't 100 units, but 100 years. So it's an anniversary of the Polish work, and this is the again he's instrumental in creating in the company. So Marsha, here's another interesting Gonzac banknote printer. So this is 175th anniversary. So that is 1823, I think it is. Actually, when it went and printed all of these different banknotes and papers, so anniversary. That's now commemoration of new currencies. This is usually about when you're doing cent to currencies. It's fairly recent. Don't find very many old ones. You also, they're very careful because countries such as Zimbabwe, who have huge inflation, it would be a source of embarrassment to announce it. But other countries have accepted it. It's kind of interesting. So Aruba, 2013, new set of different banknotes, nothing of note there. Cayman Islands, 1973, they issued the first currency issue from 1972. It was 1 year later after the currency was issued. So Jordan, 2015, showing new set of banknotes. And here on the bottom right, bottom left, you can see I've got one banknote, which is the same as on the stamp there. So Malawi, 1965, new coinage. I've looking for the whole set of these stamps. One of them has a banknote on, but I've only got this one so far. It's difficult to get that one. This one is very interesting. Romania, 2005, did a redenomination of the liu from 1 to 10,000. So 10,000 liu ended up to one new liu. So that's and new band. So 100 old liu to one new band. So here souvenir sheet showing, not a souvenir sheet, but a sheet showing all of the different banknotes and coins, obverse and reverse, and the old and new values. Uh, it's commemorated. It's beautiful, beautiful set. So, St. Helen, 1976, first issue of the bank notes on Pine. Next, St. Vincent, 1992, first issue of the East Caribbean currency. So showing this on the stamp. St. Thomas and Principal, 2010 series of banknotes. So it's showing these. Here are my own banknotes and showing them which ones are related. So I've got one from each one of these ones. Seychelles, 1980, first set of new currencies. So 4 stamps here. Here's a banknote, which I'm showing here with the new currency there. So this is from 1980. So 1960s to 80s is when a lot of the British colonies form got independent, and then they created new currencies, and they often then printed stamps to commemorate those ones. Very common. Suriname, 1983, showing the coins and stamps related to this. I don't have one of these currencies. I would at one point do that. Solomon Islands, 1977, new coinage here, new paper currencies, and this one also showing the old types of currencies, feather money, and the shell money that was used in the islands a long time ago. So it's nice little stamps. United Arab Emirates 2014, new currencies. Here's the first day cover with the stamp showing the different currencies. And I have a banknotes, which is the same one there, which is one dinar. Next one is Venezuela 2008, new currencies. And I've got some banknotes which are the same as these ones, but because Venezuela has gone through a lot of currency redevaluation and on and on. They've used the same picture, but they put different values on those depending on what it is. For instance, the first one was 2 bolivar, and then the the banknote I have is 100. So they've it's difficult to get the exact one. So, anyways, next, Maastricht Paper Money Fair. So this started in 1987, actually 85 at some point. As a paper money bourse in Netherlands. Moved to Valkenburg, changed to European Paper Money Bourse, but it's currently known as the Paper Money Fair in Bourse. And Dutch colonies have issued stamps commemorating these things, and they are interesting. Aruba, back there, Aruba issued a block of 12 with 12 different countries' paper money, and I've got 3 of them here, so they're showing the different paper money. And this is from the 25th anniversary of the money fair for this one, so 2011. So Kirakigo is here is first day covers for these ones, and I've got a 2.5 guilder banknotes relating to this particular stamp on the top one. St. Martin, they issued a block of 4 of 6 of these ones, different banknotes. I don't have a particular one there, and we'll get one at one point or not. That's the 2015 Paper Money Fair. Suriname, he issued 12 different stamps with different banknotes here, and I've got 3 different banknotes related to this particular one. Okay, next is banknotes on postcards. These are not issued by the countries, but usually issued by the postcard companies to interest tourists in the country. Find these portrayals interesting. And actually, I do find these interesting. So I'll show you what they are. So here's the Equatorial Africa 100 franc reverse. This is the postcard, the picture side of the postcard. So beautiful sort of things. This is the 1,000 franc note obverse, and I'll say this is an amazing banknote. I would like to get one, but they're like about $500 to $1,000 to get one of these, even though they're not in circulation anymore. So here's the 1,000 franc note reverse. So you notice that reversed, it's a super colorful one, so really beautiful. Equatorial Africa, 5,000 franc verse, and the reverse of the same one. So these are all on postcards. Germany, a postcard with a similar banknote. This is not a real banknote, and they just stuck a picture of a girl here. I was told that you do that, you give that to a girl for compliments. Egyptian banknotes. So here I've got a series. I'll go over fairly quick. They're the National Bank of Egypt that they've issued things. It's issued under a decree 1898, but they issued it over from 1913 to 1920. I've got 10 of these particular ones. So here's a 1 Egyptian pound. Here's a 10 Egyptian pounds from issued 1916. Here's a 5 pound one issued 1918. Here's 50 piastres, 50 cents, issued 1914. These are all postcards, remember, so this is the reverse of them. And this is an interesting one here. So this is May from 1917. Yet it says 1916 for here for 10 cents. Here's 25 piastres. Here's a 5 piastres, bank 1916, 5 piastres to 1916, 100 pounds. So this is the highest figure for 19. This is issued. Actually, the previous one, just notice, 100 Egyptian pounds. It was actually printed 1st of February 1943, which is pretty late. Yet the issue was 1921, so a long life issue. So, and 1937 here. Next is Japanese. So this is a postcard with showing us Japanese currency from 1956. This is 1956 series. I've got a banknote, 100 yen banknote, which matches that one there. So Romania. Romania. So remember the redenomination 10,000 to 1. So here is the first postcard with one of the items. Plus, I have a banknote, which is the same as that one, but on different denominations. So same guy. Okay, so history of banknotes. These are usually some historical items, old money, etc., etc. So Um, Hong Kong. So here's a series of Hong Kong ones showing the different currencies from Hong Kong. It's not that old, but from the 1863s and so forth. Ivory Coast, 1991. These are history of money issues uh, from the Togo, uh, which is the Bank of Occidental Africa. So from a 1942 note. Here, Japan, here's a series of stamps showing the different currency items that was used in Japan, different point. F is the banknotes that were used at that point. That was along uh, uh, several, I think 16, 1500s around that point, and the different coins, weighing machines, and so forth. So Micronesia, 1997, paper money from the 9th century. So showing you the what had. This is one of the earliest paper money you had. This one is from 1127 to 1279. So Spain, 1976, bicentennial of U.S. independence. It's showing a U.S. Corporation of Richmond $1 note from the uh, American Revolution. Souvenir sheets resembling banknotes. Souvenir sheets look like old banknotes and other instruments. Um, so here's a souvenir sheet that's resembling the Australian banknotes and showing two stamps which were commemorating the banknotes 100th anniversary of the banknote. So and banknotes. Here's Bulgaria, a souvenir sheet that resembles, kind of resembles a banknote. So, okay, here's something is the other ones. Other and unusual items so don't match. Interesting. These are interesting ones. Colombia. So I got this banknote here. This is the obverse and the reverse side. The obverse showing Antonio Nariño, which is a famous politician. Um, he's shown in the Colombian 2 cent stamp here, same guy. On the reverse of the banknotes are these monuments, which are from San Augustine, which are all shown on this Columbia stamp too. So that's yeah, this is one of these ones. So Guinea-Bissau fauna showing banknotes that have animals on them. So one of them is the New Zealand $5 note, which is got a penguin in it, which is I've got it there. Hungary banker stamp. So this is interesting because the bother reading all this one, but essentially due to inflation that the person, if they wanted to use a banknote, they actually had to pay 3/4 of the value. And this, it would be 750 pengo to the to the government to get a stamp, which means they could use it as 1,000 pengo note. But that didn't work, so they ended up with a inflation rising to was it 1,000 trillion to one old pengo at that point. So uh, so I've actually got this one. So Transnistria banker stamp in 1945. So this is a small area in Moldavia, um, close to the Ukrainian border, which broke off. It is not internationally recognized. It's an autonomous area, but they still issue their own stamps and still issue their own at one point, and then issue their own paper money, but it's only locally in this particular one. So 1992, they actually, I'm not sure if they still issue it, but they at that point they did issue things, and it's apparently still good. So, anyways, This is interesting. Latvia, 1919. Um, they had to print some stamps, but they had these old um, the paper which was printed on one side with these old 10 mark notes. Um, and instead of printing, what they decided to do is print this stamps on them. And so this on the left side, you see the stamps, and this is the back, the right side of that one. So Liechtenstein, occupations, banking and trading. So this one only note because it shows banknotes. So Mauritius, postcard of the 1901 Prince and Princess of Wales. That's future King George the Fifth from I think 1911. After Edward died, he became king. Um, anyway, so they visit Mauritius and stamp issued commemorating that one. So kind of strange, I thought. But anyways, Romania, the smallest banknote from 1915, which is the size of a small stamp. This is the blow up of a stamp, and it was very, very small. This 10 bani, which is basically a 10 cent, was a banknote. So Russia, 1915. During the war, they were running out of metal, so they used stamps, the reverse side of stamps as coins and shortage of coins. So this is a 2 kopeck value in this particular stamp. USSR 1920 inflation. They did the same idea because there's huge inflation. Instead of printing coins, which would be worthless after a while and sold for their metal, they ended up as stamps to get by. So Uruguay, 1996. Remember back then, I mentioned that had these commemoration of the 100th anniversary. Well, here is the first day um, envelope, but the second stamp on this one is shifted, so it's a little hazy. The color is offset, so it's a bit of a note there. U.S. 1996, 86, commemorating the numismatic, showing the paper money and coins. And the U.S. is the promotional copy of banknotes. So this is promotional from the corporation Winchester, uh, which is Virginia, is trying to promote people to spend money there, and they give you 15 cents for these things. I've paid more than 15 cents for this one now. So, anyways, that's it. So